What fragrance do you spray on a sporty football top? Probably something sort of citrusy, don't you? Shall we try Acqua de Parma leather? Yeah, that's a little bit different. Yes, good afternoon. It is time in a minute to go out for a walk, and I thought, why don't I do another fitness fragrance review? While my brother's not at home, I'll take another one of his fragrances. And as you would have just heard me say, I'm going out wearing Acqua de Parma leather. Acqua de Parma leather. I wish I'd owned this one before, and let's be honest, if you're not someone who likes strong leather fragrances, you're not going to like this one. But I think if you're a leather fan, you have leather in fragrances before, you're going to love this one. It's an interesting scent. They've kept this one, and it smells to me James Bond in the old days, but it's also like that nice car, your Aston Martin, your Bentley, your Jaguar. It's got that smell about it. It's very, very strong. And yeah, I just thought I'd do a bit more of a review on it. I've done a sort of initial impressions on it before, but I want to give it the full fitness fragrance review. So essentially on my walk, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through my usual 5 categories. If you haven't seen these before, essentially we'll look at its price dash value for money, its versatility, so how much you can use it in different situations, its projection, how strong it is, so yeah, how much I can notice it during my walk essentially. We'll also look at its compliment factor. Do I think it's a compliment getting fragrance? And then its longevity. How long does this fragrance last? Will it get me through my walk essentially? So what I'm going to quickly do though before I go out, I've got my computer on, I'm sitting by my desk. We'll go through the notes. What is in this fragrance? Surely there's more in it than just leather. Okay, so the bottle has changed a little bit over the years. I think it's probably changed a little bit in notes as well. This is like a brown bottle. I don't know if the camera's really picking that up. It's now like an all black bottle. They've kind of changed. I believe it was called like a concentrate line because they're eau de cologne concentrate. And yeah, I think they've essentially become more of an eau de parfum. I think this one, yeah, is an eau de cologne. Yeah, they're eau de parfums now, so they have changed slightly. But from my experience of trying them in shops, they haven't really changed in strength. I think eau de cologne concentrate means they were just a stronger form. And to be honest with you, you don't want it any stronger than this anyway, which we'll talk about later on. But what is in this fragrance? Well, the top notes now are raspberry, Brazilian orange, and Sicilian lemon. So it's got quite a citrus opening, which is a little bit like their ombre leather. They've kind of got this more fruity, wearable leather. I don't particularly pick that up too much with this fragrance. If I'm picking up any of those notes, it's probably more the raspberry. I'm certainly not getting any sharp lemon or any orange from this at all. No, not at all with this one. Middle notes, rose, red thyme, petitgrain, and honeysuckle. You might get a slight floral component from the rose, but let's be honest, when you look at the base, leather, guyakwood, and cedar, this is all about leather. Acqua de Parma leather, literally to me, just smells like leather. There's not a lot more to it than that. You obviously get a bit of those woods, which I think actually just smooths the fragrance off, prevents it from being too harsh and rough around the edges, and you just get that quality. But I think here, the leather is so prominent, it's obviously meant to be the selling point of this fragrance. If you just like pure leather smells, that's what this is. Don't buy this thinking that you've got some fruity, fresh elements, or if it's got some floral elements, because you're not going to like this one. You're going to be very disappointed. So what we're going to do then, we're going to head out in a minute, and yeah, we'll go through the 5 categories. So yeah, looking forward to it. The weather looks nice. The sun is out. I might even put my sunglasses on. Catch you in a bit. Do apologise as well because it's the afternoon. There's going to be a lot more cars going by me, so I'll try and talk as clearly as I can for this. But price slash value for money for Acqua de Parma leather. Well, I am stunned. I was mentioning at the start of this video today, I was saying this is a staple fragrance. This is one that's been in their collection for years. It's not on their website anymore. I think this one might be discontinued. So the only prices I could find for this were on eBay for like 128, 130 pound, and that was kind of, to be honest, for 100, but that was kind of the price you were sort of paying for it anyway. So with that being said, do I think the price you can get it for now, is it good value for money? Well, if you like leather, yes, it is real high quality leather. So, you know, it's more in that smoky and fruity vibe. I think that's what I was trying to get across earlier on. I think that guyakwood certainly brings a bit of a dry smokiness. But I think it's, again, if you love this, then great. But I think for a lot of people it's going to be, and we'll talk about versatility next, it's not got a lot of versatility about it. It's very great, it's very mature, and leather's such a divisive note. I think some people are going to find that too steep. But I think if you're going for it purely on the fact you like leather, this is well worth 120, 130 pounds, which is what you were getting it for. So I think price slash value for money in general for this, if you can still find it for that price, I think it's not bad. I think it's just the fact it doesn't have a lot of uses for a lot of people, and maybe that's why it's been discontinued. So I'm going to give it, for price, 7.5 out of 10. Kind of middle of the range really for this, and yeah, I just can't get over the fact you can't really get it anymore. Be very careful when you're looking at prices online now, because they will fluctuate, and you do have to wonder, especially if they've been around in a shelf in someone's bathroom for a while, you do have to worry about the way it's, you know, been stored, so just keep aware of that. Okay, so on to versatility for Acqua de Parma leather. How much can you dress this one up, dress this one down, different ages, different occasions, different seasons, all those things? Well, normally when I talk about Acqua de Parma Colonia line or the Blue Mediterranean line, I say they're not very strong. This concentrate line is beast mode, and this one certainly is. So for most people, you're not going to dress this down. It's too heavy. I don't think you could wear it in an office. And it's got no sweetness about it at all. I find it strange how they market this unisex. For me, this is very much masculine, and maybe that's just culturally, I'm just so used to sort of men wearing more aggressive leather scents. I feel like women wear more floral, sweeter scents. This one hasn't got any of that, and again, this is not entry level, and that's reflected in the price as well, of course, and the quality of this, you know, Acqua de Parma thread. So this is not one that you buy straight away as your first fragrance or anything like that. Where do I think it'd be best used? I think night out, wearing a blazer, leather jacket, anything like that. Someone who's a little bit older, I think an older gentleman, say 40 and up, are probably going to appreciate this one more. But if you're someone who likes those sort of blue fragrances and that, I don't think you're going to really want this one. It's just so far removed from that. And again, maybe that, as we were saying earlier, is why it's been discontinued. It's not getting the sales it used to. And it's just not a very wearable leather. When you think of like an ombre leather, it's just a lot more wearable. So yeah, you're not going to wear it to the gym. I don't think you're going to wear it to the office. It's just too divisive. It's too in your face. And that's what's great about it. You know, you cannot fault its quality. But I think its quality and its strength, in fact, it is such a divisive note in 2026. It's gone against it. I think it's literally just purely dress up, night out leather jacket, macho alpha male type scent. And for that reason, I'm going to give versatility a 3 out of 10. Very sorry, Acqua de Parma. But I love it, but you can't wear it for many occasions. My brother's had it for about 7 years now, not even joking, and he's still got a little bit left. So if you buy this one, you'll probably have it for life. Well, that was embarrassing. Someone was just trying to say hi to me a minute ago, and where I've got my buttermint in my mouth, it got stuck to my teeth, so I was like, hello. I could barely open it, as I can't now. Not good, I need to stop eating these. My dad was a dentist, he's not going to be happy with my teeth at this rate. Anyway, projection. How much am I noticing this fragrance? Well, put it in perspective, I sprayed obviously on my Chelsea top earlier. I've got a red sort of jumper underneath as well, and I can smell it coming up off of all of this, kicking up. And again, from experience, it's so strong. I mean, people are going to notice it if they're, you know, when there was social distance during COVID, 2 metre distance, they will notice it easily, and you only need to spray 3 or 4, and that is more than enough. You won't want to put on any more than that, and I'm someone who likes strong smells. So for that reason, it's got to be just a 10 out of 10 for projection. It's really strong. Again, you can smell its quality, but I think that's what makes you feel uncomfortable wearing it. As I said, if I was trying to wear this one, I'd probably only spray 1 or 2, and that would just be with a suit and tie on, because it feels okay for that occasion. But if I'm sitting in a room where, or like a car or something like that, a small enclosed space, I'm not wearing this at all. You want it to be a relatively large room with a lot of people around, or if you're outdoors, it'll cut through the cold in that sense as well, and that's where it's going to work best. So yeah, I mean, if you want strength though, if you're just not too worried about the scent, or you love this scent, go get this, because projection is 10 out of 10. It's phenomenal. You cannot fault it for that. That's one thing that probably was its selling point over the years. Okay then, so compliment factor. Do I think Acqua de Parma leather is a compliment getting fragrance? Well, I'm going to just say this now. Don't even think this is an opinion, but do not buy Acqua de Parma Colonia leather for compliments. It's not that sort of scent. Look, Do I think it can get some compliments? Of course I do. It's a statement scent, regardless of whether it's a mass pleasing scent or not. It's statement, it's high quality, it's classy. And again, if you tone your sprays down, you wear it with the right clothing, not what I'm sort of wearing now, but you wear it with a suit and tie, and you do 3 or 4 sprays, people are going to like it. But you just need to make sure you're aware of how strong it is, because sometimes if you put something like that on, it can be so strong and people will just go, wow, that is very pungent. They probably won't say anything, but they'll certainly notice it even if they don't mention it. So in those situations, look, if someone likes that scent, you'll be remembered as the best smelling person ever. You're not going to be forgotten. You just don't want to be forgotten for, you don't want to be remembered, sorry, for the wrong reasons with this. And this could be that sort of scent. You go, oh, he smelled really strong of leather. And that's probably what most people would think. Again, it is a note now, leather, that people are saying is being utilised a lot more with fragrance brands. But it's being utilised where it's sitting in the background rather than at the forefront of fragrances. And yeah, this one doesn't feel like it's really mixed with those fruity notes in the same way. It's literally just basically come in, it's kicked all those fruity notes out and said, I'm the main guy here. You're all sitting in the background. You're not relevant. I'm the important one here. If those fruity notes, those sort of tart or raspberry notes came through a bit more, or maybe even a bit of chocolate in this, something a bit more gourmand, I think this would certainly get more compliments. But do not spend that money on the fragrance for this to get compliments. You know, those more safe, wearable ones that you can use in different situations, you know, at work, at the gym, when you're doing different things in the day. Your typical safe scents like Dior Sauvage just work better because they're more recognisable, safe notes, and just essentially more modern, what you expect to sort of smell in 2026. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. That's it, unfortunately, the compliment factor. But as I said, don't think that this won't get noticed, because it certainly will. And you get the right person, you'll certainly be a 10 out of 10 for them. Anyway, last round, we're going to go on to longevity. Longevity for Acqua di Parma leather. Well, I think I might as well just get straight into it. I can smell it now still, and I would normally leave this till the end of the wall, but it's 10 out of 10. It is easily 10 out of 10. And kind of just to put it in perspective of how strong this is, I'll give you a story of where my brother sort of really first wore this. He wore it for my nan's 80th birthday, and we went to this hotel for overnight. All the family came together, and we went for a meal, and yeah, it was just one night thing. And yeah, it was a brilliant occasion. Anyway, he wore it on his sort of like jacket he was wearing, and obviously you don't wash your clothes when you're away, so when we got back we put everything in the wash. And because it was a jacket, my mum just put it on like this eco setting in the washing machine. And because he has so many jackets, I mean, he has a lot of fragrances, but he also has a lot of clothes which he never wears, it went in her cupboard. So it sat in my mum's cupboard for about 4 or 5 months, and then we were going to London for the day. Thought, I haven't worn that jacket for a little while, so we put it on, and he said, oh, I can smell it, you know, Parma leather on it. And then we remembered he wore that jacket obviously for my nan's 80th party, and it was 4 or 5 months after, you know, it'd gone through the washing machine, okay, on a low heat setting, but it'd been sitting in a cupboard for that long, and you could still smell the fragrance. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about longevity of this. It's almost impossible to wash it off, whether it's on the skin or not. I mean, I've put it on my arm before, washed like my hands and arms twice with soap just to see if it would come off. It doesn't come off. It's one of them, you just have to let it go when it goes, and it will take a very long time, or a very hot washing machine setting. But yeah, 10 out of 10, there's no two ways about it. So there we are, that is it. So based on the 5 rounds, what did Acqua di Parma leather get out of 50? 32.5, and very rarely, let's be honest, do I give 2 10s. I very rarely give a 10 and a round. I'm normally quite critical of things. And yeah, it hasn't got an overly big score apart from that. And really what I would say with this phrase, the best way to sum it up is its biggest strengths, which are obviously its projection and its longevity, cause its greatest weaknesses, which is its lack of versatility and also its lack of compliment factor. And I think really what you've got to weigh up if you wanted this type of scent is, what do you want? What's the trade-off? Are you just someone who just really wants the strength, or are you someone that actually thinks, I do care about, you know, how other people perceive it on me? And I think for most people, they're going to worry more about things like how versatile, how much can I use it through the day, and also obviously what do other people think of me, because we're always worried about other people thinking of us, and obviously smell is one of those as well. And as I said, it is an amazing scent, but fragrances are moving on, times are moving on, and there's a greater push for fresher, blue phrase, more versatile scents. are just sweeter fragrances because they're the ones that get the compliments, and that's probably why this one's being pushed out. But do not think this isn't a quality fragrance, because it's very, very much high quality. But you're going to need to be someone who appreciates leather as notes of fragrances. But if you do, this is one of the best on the market. It's just a shame it doesn't seem to be on the market anymore. So yeah, let me know if any of you have tried any other leather scents. Some of the ones I've tried are ombre leather. I've tried some clones of that. Never tried Tuscan leather. It's one I definitely would want to try. But if there's any others out there, maybe some real cheapy ones, let me know, because I'd love to try a few more. Because one thing I'd say is it may not be my favourite note, but I certainly appreciate it in perfumery. And yeah, I hope I've got that message across today. So thank you very much for watching. Try and finish my walk now, and yeah, hopefully I'll catch you for some more videos soon.